This week has a lot of potential within Call of Duty World War II, and so this week we of course are going to be continuing our series with the things to look out for, but in a larger quantity this time around than the last couple of weeks. This week we're going to be taking a look at 11 things you can look out for within Call of Duty World War II as of the upcoming days. Now, a lot of this is not confirmed. There are some things that are going to of course change, and we know that for sure, but other things, well, it's still kind of interesting because we have an update coming tomorrow, but we don't exactly know what. There hasn't really been any official mention of what we'll be seeing. All we got was last week's blog post on Wednesday talking about a game update coming tomorrow, Tuesday the 29th, and that's pretty much it. We don't necessarily know anything outside of that, but let's start out today's video with the stuff that we do know will be happening within this week. So the first things up is of course going to be that of a brand new weapon contract. This past week, we continued to follow suit with the Blitzkrieg items with the Type 38, the Sniper, or the Arasaka, as a lot of you guys may know it. Before that, we ended up seeing the Itra Burst as well as the Sterling, but as of this upcoming week, well, truthfully, I'm not entirely sure what direction this may go. It may continue the Blitzkrieg weapons in maybe say the M2 or the Type 5, but we might also see a new weapon either in a different showcase of the different seasonal events beforehand, or it might be something entirely new, which will lead into new weapons that we'll talk about later in the video. So that's something that we may be able to look out for as a sort of new weapon, but regardless, we are going to get that weapon contract refresh starting tomorrow. The second thing that I'd look out for is the Code Fear Not pack, or the Call of Duty Endowment Fear Not pack, that being something that's going to give us a new camo, a uniform, a weapon charm, and probably all for right around $5. That's all going to go to the Call of Duty Endowment, all proceeds going there, and of course, like we talked about in our video last week recapping that update that Sledgehammer gave us, this is going to be something in which, honestly, I don't necessarily ever pay outright for things in Call of Duty, but this is one thing I'm definitely going to, simply because it goes to a great cause. It goes to putting veterans back into work after their deployments and after their time in the service. So for that cause, I am 100% on board. I recommend that if you guys are interested at all with it and you have $5 to spare, definitely give it a shot because, again, it goes to a great cause here. That's going to be dropping tomorrow, the 29th, with this update that we end up getting for World War II. So again, a new camo, uniform, and weapon charm from what we've seen in the promotional artwork with it. It looks like it is that Code Monty uniform pack that was released but locked up for everybody a couple of weeks back and then subsequently taken out. It looks like that's also going to be the uniform we get with this, plus that weapon charm and that green camo that we saw in the key art. The third thing I'd look out for is just continuing on a little bit of the trend of what we've seen in the past couple of weeks, that being maybe a midweek mobilization, that maybe being a weekend warfare playlist. Right now we have absolutely no idea what else there would be. We've pretty much exhausted everything that we know of at the very moment in the sense of game modes that have already either been publicly showcased or some things that are coming back, and unless there's something dropped for the very first time, it's coming down to, again, something we don't know exactly what this may be. Of course, we saw the throwback playlist and one shot dropped out of nowhere, so maybe that is something in which that happens once again, to which I'd love to see some other cool modes, maybe Demolition come back for a little bit, maybe Infected return, but as for what it could mean at the very moment, your guess is as good as mine. I know that that's something that, of course, we still have a handful of game modes from the game Code from ages ago that were data mined that we've yet to see really implemented within Call of Duty World War II, so maybe we get some of those, maybe we get something brand new. We don't know exactly, but whether or not we end up having weekend warfare or we get a new event, whatever it may be, pretty much chances are we're going to get a new mode at some point within the week. So that'll be something very fun to play around with. Keep your eye out for that. But the next thing that I'm really curious about is one in which we're going to get a zombies update. We don't know anything of what this means, except that it was mentioned in the blog as of Wednesday, in which it says they will definitely have a zombies update for next week and to stay tuned. Now that's something that, of course, if it was just say a slight tuning to zombies, I don't think they'd really necessarily put it as such. I think they'd maybe brush it off a little bit like, hey, sorry, we kind of don't have much right now, but this just seemed a lot more in depth and a lot more heavy of a way to say that we're definitely gonna have something for zombies. So whether or not you're a zombies fan, whether you're a zombies player or a multiplayer guy, it doesn't really matter, but we will be seeing something of that if you're interested in any way, shape, or form, so stick around for that as well. That's going to be coming at some point, maybe tomorrow during the update, maybe over the weekend with the blog update on Friday, we'll see. Now the next thing is dealing a little bit with of the playlist for the weekend warfare this past weekend. If you guys don't know, Valkyrie was actually open access to everybody from DLC 1. If you have DLC 1 or you don't have it, it was available for everyone to play as the featured playlist this weekend. And so if you guys haven't gotten your fill of that, it goes away tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So at the same time, the update should be rolling out to everybody within Call of Duty World War II. So if you guys want to check that out But again, if you guys don't have access to DLC 1, that's kind of the primary thing here at this as to why it was implemented. If you don't have DLC 1, you can play it for free. I think it's probably one of the best maps out of that DLC pack, so definitely worth at least a test run if you haven't done so already. But the next thing is that you're also going to have the final push for the triple double XP in that playlist. So along with open access for Valkyrie as the featured playlist for this weekend warfare, this also was accompanied by triple double XP, meaning you had double soldier, double weapon, and double division XP all within that specific playlist. Unfortunately, it's not across the board. That's something it wasn't in TDM, it wasn't in Domination with all the other maps in rotation. It was only on that Valkyrie open access playlist, but again, definitely a nice way to play around, get some easy XP, and again, that ends tomorrow. So keep an eye out for that refreshing, wherever it gets changed out by, we don't know of just yet, but that's gonna be finishing up tomorrow. Now here's where we start to get into the stuff that really is up in the air, we don't know. Personally, I still think it's a decent bet simply because of the way that we've already seen all these things work out previously, but that maybe being a new event. We haven't seen, again, anything to really indicate this as to either happening or not happening, but we talked about this many times before that if you take a look at all the intervals between each of the events previously, that being Winter Siege to the Resistance, Resistance to Shamrock and Awe to Blitzkrieg, and then Blitzkrieg to now, we are right at that point where everything should be looking to tomorrow. So maybe we end up getting one, but maybe we don't. That said, this is something that firstly, maybe you can look out for a brand new event starting this week within World War II. And then if that happens, well, of course, we're also going to get the subsequent weapons that will happen. Right now, again, there are 13 in the game code that have been data mined as of a recent build of the game, but we're probably not going to get a large majority of those just yet. We'll probably get 4 to maybe 6, 6 probably being that outlier that I don't think will happen. My guess, if it were up to me, 4 for this event, and honestly, I would love to see them dropped in intervals, so say 1 a week. If the event is 4 weeks long, drop 1 every single week, so then you have some sort of content drop to keep things going and to keep people hyped for it, because if you drop everything all at once, I'm still not the biggest fan of all that. Of course, it creates that hype instantaneously, but it is something that it'll die down very quickly. But if you have something people can keep coming back for, well, of course, that's absolutely awesome. After that, another thing probably tethered to a new event would be a new headquarters. So that'd be something in which we end up seeing a new cinematic feature for how that's gonna work out. We've had that Baron and Blitzkrieg version of the headquarters for quite some time. Honestly, I was really surprised that it stuck around not only beforehand, but also after the event as well. I thought that we'd end up getting our regular grassy headquarters that we had all throughout the regular down portions of the game. I thought we'd end up getting that back once the Blitzkrieg event ended, but I was wrong on that one. But it's probably going to change here with this if we do have a new event. Again, all of the rest of this stuff is all contingent on if we have a new event, which again, is in no way, shape, or form confirmed right now, but it is something that is still quite possible. After that, and our penultimate thing we can take a look out here for is that if we do have a new event, we're probably gonna get some new supply drop variants around with that. So how we had Resistance drops, Blitzkrieg drops, Winter Siege drops, those kind of things, those are probably gonna be added in as well, but also we'll end up getting some new contracts and collections, plus the return of Butcher probably. So along with that, we'll probably get a new loot pool, so a lot of new things added to the supply drop contents. I'm hoping for some new camos, maybe some new weapon variants outside of just like the new weapons we were to get. One of the things I'm really hoping we get are some of the secret and I guess hidden variants within Call of Duty World War II, in the sense that we talked about this months ago, but there are so many awesome camos that we have never seen to the public just yet, such things being the Iron Curtain 2, the American 1911 variant. We also have the independent M1 variant. There's a lot of cool stuff that is just available and in the game files, but just not there and implemented for players to get. So I'm hoping that maybe if we get some new loot content out of all of this, and say like new camos, like new reticles, uniforms, all that good stuff, I'm hoping we also get regular weapons having new variants added in as well, because I would love to see some of those little awesome ones that are hidden from regular view. I think it'd be awesome to see those added in and hopefully to get them. Now, the final thing that I'd take a look out for within Call of Duty World War II this week is, as well, once again, very contingent on if we even end up getting a new event. I have no idea if we will, but it is something in which, if this happens, maybe there's a slight possibility of a new map. We saw Sledgehammer drop Shipment 1944 with, I believe, Shamrock and Awe, if I'm not mistaken. Then we had Winter Carrington given with the Winter Siege event, though not as many people like Winter Carrington over Shipment 1944, but there's that possibility that we end up seeing one added in on top of all of this. Now, is it something that is likely? I'm not sure, but if we take a look at patterns and how we've seen them once again unfold within Call of Duty World War II, there is an alternating position here at this, because we saw Winter Siege drop Winter Carrington, then we saw an off period with the Resistance event, then we saw Shamrock and Awe drop Shipment 1944, then we have an off period with Blitzkrieg. so maybe we end up getting it. As of what this may be a new event if it comes tomorrow. We'll see, but that's something definitely to keep in mind as well. So there's a lot of cool stuff here on the table, and I'm definitely excited for all of it, but I think that's where we're gonna wrap it up here at this one. A lot of stuff to look out for this week, a lot also contingent on the idea of getting a new event, which again, we don't know at the moment, but I'm still holding out hope. I don't know. I tried to play detective here at this one, but I'm gonna stick with my guns. I'm gonna say tomorrow, the 29th, that our prediction comes true with that 3-week downtime between Blitzkrieg and tomorrow. So maybe we get one, but regardless, I'd love to get your thoughts and feedback down there in the comment section down below. Let me know your thoughts, anything that it may be, anything you're looking out for, anything you're really excited for within World War II, feel free to let me know. Are you guys hoping for a new event? Are you guys hoping for a lot more content here within World War II? Whatever it may be, feel free to let me know your thoughts down there, but hopefully you guys enjoyed, and if you guys did, make sure you drop a like down below. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss a single thing regarding Call of Duty World War II, anything in particular regarding updates, a new event potentially, new weapons, new showcases, all that good stuff. We got you covered here up on the channel, so if any of that interests you, make sure that subscribe button so you don't miss a single thing. And if you guys want to follow me over on Twitter, that's the best place to get connected from outside of YouTube. Practically live on Twitter, so if you guys want to strike up a conversation, ask me a question, whatever it may be, link is down there in the description below. And finally, if you guys want to follow me over on Instagram, I'm trying to get more active over there as well, so that link is also in the description below. Well, all that's it out of the way. Hope you guys had a fantastic day. Thank you all so much for watching. Mine has been Espresso. Take care and peace.